Buford versus Flowery Branch. And at first glance, both of these locations can look very similar. They're located right next to each other. Both are close to Lake Lanier. They both offer fantastic schools. They both have new communities, and they are both incredibly popular for these relocating buyers that are moving to the state. But in reality, Buford and Flowery Branch attract very different types of buyers. And in this video, I'm breaking down exactly why. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Josh Dumont, and I'm a local realtor to this North Metro Atlanta area. And if you're looking to move here, there's a good chance you've probably come across Buford and Flowery Branch, and that's what this video is all about. We're going to be looking at things like cost of living, home prices, shopping, schooling, Lake Lanier access, the future growth, and ultimately, which city is best for which type of buyer. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which location fits your lifestyle better. So let's jump into it. First, let's talk about location. And the first thing to know about these cities is that they're actually neighbors. You can go from Buford to Flowery Branch or vice versa in about 10 to 15 minutes depending on the traffic. Both are going to offer easy access to your major highways in cities like Gainesville and Cumming, but it's important to know that yes, these cities are close, but they provide a completely different feel. Buford's going to feel a little bit busier, more developed, and more suburban, while Flowery Branch is going to be a little bit quieter, more relaxed, and more connected to the lake. A good rule of thumb is generally if you want convenience, shopping, and everything at your fingertips, you're going to want to lean more towards Buford. But if you want a more relaxed, slow-paced, more outdoor living lifestyle, you're going to lean more towards Flowery Branch. So now let's talk money, because this is where most buyers actually start the process. And if we look at money, Flowery Branch is generally going to give you more house for your money. And this is because within Buford, the demand is extremely high. You have the Mall of Georgia, Buford City Schools, these new retail developments, and the proximity to the major highways. And because of that, the prices here tend to be pushed higher. Now, Flowery Branch still does have a high demand, but buyers here are often looking at larger lots, more privacy, newer homes, and a lower price per square foot on these houses. For example, a $500,000 home within Buford, you might get a newer home on a smaller lot located to all the shopping. Now, if we look at that same budget in Flowery Branch, you might be getting more square footage, more yard space, and even a potential lake access at this budget. So for buyers who are looking to maximize their value, Flowery Branch usually wins. But if you're a buyer who prioritizes your location and convenience, Buford often justifies the higher price point. So now let's talk schooling, because this is one of the main reasons that relocation buyers continue to move to this part of North Georgia. Now, starting with Buford City Schools, they have an incredible reputation and are often ranked among the top school systems within the entire state of Georgia. Buyers are specifically looking at Buford to put their kids within this school district. Now, the downside goes back to our last point, and that is that the homes zoned within this Buford City schooling are often coming with a high premium price tag for these houses. Now, Flowery Branch schools are going to be a part of the Hall County schooling system, and there are several highly rated schools within this system, and families tend to love these schools as well. The main difference is that Buford City schools are often the destination for buyers, while Flowery Branch schools usually tend to just be a bonus, not the destination. So if schools are your number one priority and the reason why you're moving here, then Buford deserves your serious consideration. Now we're going to look at your shopping, dining, and entertainment. And this category goes heavily towards Buford. And to be honest, I don't even think it's close. Buford is home to Mall of Georgia, Topgolf, Andretti's, countless restaurants, more retail shopping than they know what to do with, grocery stores, medical facilities, and way more than I could ever list. If you enjoy having literally everything within a few minutes of your home, then Buford is going to be tough to beat. Now, Flowery Branch still does have plenty of restaurants and local businesses, but it feels much smaller and more community focused. You'll find things like local coffee shops, family-owned restaurants, downtown events, and a more small town feel, which some buyers would actually prefer. So for this category, the question becomes, do you want the convenience to just about everything, or do you want that more small town, charming feel? And neither answer is wrong. It's just about what you prefer and what your lifestyle looks like. Now we're going to move on and talk about traffic, because this is one area that buyers are often surprised about when they move to this area. Now in this category, Buford takes a pretty big hit. I would say Buford is significantly busier than Flowery Branch, especially around things like Mall of Georgia, Buford Drive, Gravel Springs, and these major highway interchanges. And during rush hour, the traffic here can become increasingly frustrating. Generally, I would say Flowery Branch feels easier to navigate. There are definitely certain busy areas like around Gravel Springs and I-985, but overall it feels way less congested than Buford. For people who work remote, Flowery Branch can feel way more peaceful. But for commuters who need that quick, major highway access, Buford can still be advantageous. Now we're going to talk about your Lake Lanier lifestyle, and this is really where Flowery Branch starts to separate itself. If your dream home involves boating, fishing, sunsets on the water, lakefront restaurants, and that weekend lake life, Flowery Branch has a huge advantage in this category. Many neighborhoods within Flowery Branch offer easy access to Lake Lanier, and buyers can be on their boats within minutes of leaving their house. And yes, Buford has Lake Lanier access as well, but when you think of that true lake lifestyle, Flowery Branch tends to come to mind. One thing that's good for buyers to keep in mind is you don't necessarily need $1 million plus lakefront home to enjoy Lake Lanier. You can live close to Lake Lanier and still have much of that Lake Lanier lifestyle without the massive price tag. And Flowery Branch does a great job of offering this balance to buyers. Now let's talk about the future growth and potential of these cities. And both of these locations are still rapidly growing. Buford is continuing to see commercial development, retail expansion, new residential communities, and the increased demand of buyers who are moving here. Flowery Branch is also continuing to grow, but it feels much more balanced. Many buyers see Flowery Branch today as what Buford looked like a couple years ago. There's still room for appreciation, there's still room for development, and many people believe that this area has a significant long-term upside. Personally, I think both of these locations are great choices and will continue to grow. And the better investment often comes down to buying the right house at the right time at the right location. So what type of buyer should choose to move to Buford? They're going to be someone who wants your top-rated schools. You love shopping and restaurants. You want everything close by. You need that daily commute to either Atlanta or your major highways in general. Now, a buyer should choose Flowery Branch if they want more house for their money, they value privacy and love Lake Lanier, they want a quieter lifestyle, and they prefer that more small town feel. At the end of the day, neither of these cities are objectively better. They're just a little different. Some clients will instantly fall in love with Buford and everything it has to offer, while some will instantly fall in love with Flowery Branch and the small town feel it provides. So the best way to decide which area to move to is looking at these list of pros and then actually coming to these areas and touring homes and seeing which area fits your lifestyle better. So if you're thinking about moving to Buford, Flowery Branch, Gwinnett County, or anywhere in the North Metro Atlanta area, I would love to help you make this move. We can go out and actually tour these areas and homes within these locations and decide which actually fits your lifestyle better. So if this video has helped you out at all, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and I'm going to continue to make videos just like this describing what it's like to live and move here to this North Atlanta metro area. Remember that you are loved, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.